From Pittsburgh's People's Media.
Midnight Radio, WBRC.
Live from Zoom Room B on the World Wide Web, you're experiencing Bricolage's Midnight Radio.
A remote education program connecting school curriculum with the creation of 1940s-style radio plays. Whatever you're learning in school today,
it's Midnight Radio.
Students transform into radio plays.
It's Midnight Radio.
Performing sounds in with characters, say.
It's Midnight Radio. Bricolage is proud to present Midnight Radio.
Excuse me, is this Dixon Construction Company?
It sure is, but who's asking?
The name's Jay.
Jay, wait a second. Jay, is that you?
That Chad? What are you doing here?
Same thing you're doing here, probably. Taking this construction job because I need the money.
I haven't seen you since you worked at Lowe's 5 years ago. I didn't know you worked construction.
Well, I don't, but the rich guy who owns the construction company seemed pretty eager to hire me anyway.
You mean Mr. Dixon? He was like that with me too, and I don't have any experience. I wonder what that was about.
Who cares? As long as we get paid. That's all that matters.
Have you seen the boss man yet?
Not yet, but I have a feeling he'll be here soon.
Good morning, ladies.
Mr. Dixon.
That's Mr. Richard Dick Dixon to you. Now try again. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Mr.
Richard Dick Dixon.
That's better. Now, I see you managed to make it here for your first day at work. That was the first step. Now we have to get you goons trained so you can get out in the field and start making me some money.
Trained?
Yes, trained and OSHA certified. Now keep in mind, you won't be paid while you're in training, so let that be your motivation.
Wait, our training is unpaid?
As in, we won't get any money until we get certified?
Well, look who put their two brain cells together and drew an accurate conclusion. That's right, geniuses. No money until you get fully trained and certified.
Sir, I don't think an unpaid training period will be necessary, right, Jay? We already know everything from our last jobs, right, Jay? Right, Jay?
Yeah, sure, we're all good.
Oh, really? And what were your last jobs?
We're both model employees at Lowe's Home Improvement, sir.
And what did you do there?
I was a cashier.
I swept floors and sniffed paint.
That's the experience you bring to this job? Please. Traffic cones are more beneficial than you two. You have to be OSHA certified to work on a construction site. And I don't want to get shut down and hit with fines just because you two morons don't know what you're doing.
But
shut your pie hole, you little worm. I've heard enough. Your training starts today. Rusty!
Yes, Mr. Richard Dick Dixon. At your service, sir. Are these the new recruits?
Who's this nerd?
An OSHA training instructor, and the more trouble you give me, the longer your unpaid training will last. Got it?
Got it.
I'll leave it to you, Rusty. I believe you got your work cut out for you with these two.
Okay, now that Darth Dixon is gone, let's get to the chase. How long is this training gonna take?
10 weeks.
10 weeks?
That's right, 10 weeks. So, are you in or are you out?
And now we pause our program for a word from our sponsor.
Do you own a construction company? Do you have new, inexperienced employees? Are you worried that your green hat workers will cost you hundreds, if not thousands, in accidents and violations because they're just too darn stupid to know better? Then you need green hat insurance.
Green hat insurance.
What this thing does.
That's gonna leave a mark. Hope you've got green hat insurance.
Gosh, it sure would be easier to work with this wire out of my way. I'll just cut it in half with these metal shears.
You're definitely gonna get an angry call from his wife about that one. better get green hat insurance.
It's not really a chocolate milkshake, but doesn't wet cement look like a chocolate milkshake? I'll just take one little sip.
Where do you even find workers this dumb? It's definitely time for green hat insurance. Green hat insurance when your workers are not the sharpest tools in the shed, and if they were the sharpest tools, they'd just sharp themselves.
Green hat insurance.
And now back to our story already in progress.
You heard me right. You got to complete 10 weeks of training, so are you in or are you out?
We're in.
Jay!
You need the money, Bad Chad, and so do I. This is the only way, so we might as well get down to it.
Very well, boys. We're already more than halfway through this play, so that means it's time for us to speed things up with a montage. 10 weeks of training in less than 2 minutes. Here we go. First up, ladder safety. Never use aluminum ladders when doing electrical work.
But it's the only ladder tall enough to reach the light fixture. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Next up, slip, trip, and fall protection. Fall hazard protection. If a spill happens, clean it up immediately.
So that's what it looks like when you spill 5 gallons of latex paint down a staircase. It seems pretty sticky, but I'm sure it's fine to walk on.
Cords and power cables are dangerous tripping hazards. Always keep them safely out of paths and walkways.
I really shouldn't plug this cord in across the hallway, but the other outlet is all the way around the corner. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Hey, Bad Chad. I'm back from the store with all of our glass bottles of Coca-Cola and containers full of hot soup.
Machine safety, be sure to complete with the manufacturer's specifications and limitations of their equipment.
I know this crane is only supposed to be able to go 10 miles per hour. Let's open this baby up and see what she can do. Oh my goodness!
And finally, always wear proper head protection on an active construction site.
It's so hot out here. Surely I don't need to wear this hard hat all the time.
Watch out below!
Ah, my head!
And don't forget to wear the steel-toed boot.
Ow, my foot!
Well, gentlemen, you did it. You completed your 10 weeks of unpaid training.
All right, we passed.
I didn't say that. In fact, I can't say that because you actually failed. You're worse than anyone I have ever trained. I don't even know how either one of you are still alive.
Oh, man. Now what?
Now I'm going to pass you anyways because I'm afraid if I spend any more time around either one of you, I'll probably die in a horrific workplace accident. Here are your certifications. I'm out of here.
Well, that was easy enough.
Enough of training. I'm ready to start working and to start getting paid. Where's Boss Man?
Sounds like he's coming this way.
All right, you clowns. I heard you passed your training and are now certified.
That's right, Mr. Richard Dick Dixon. And that means we're ready to work and ready for paychecks.
So what are we going to be building, sir?
A retirement home.
An old folks home. Let's get started.
Not so fast. Tell me, do you remember everything you learned in your OSHA training?
Sort of.
More or less.
Well, you can forget all that right now.
What?
The rules, the guidelines, the best practices, throw it all out the window. There's no room for that garbage when it comes to building a Richard Dick Dixon property.
I like your energy, sir, but I don't quite understand.
I had to get you two doofuses certified to start construction on this project, but I'm not spending all the money it will take to actually follow all those rules. No way. I'm in this business to make money, not to spend it on safety posters and PPE. Now man up and get to work. And don't think for a minute we need to apply for any building permits or inspections.
But sir, you do want this building to be safe, don't you?
Yeah, you don't want any little sweet grandmas in harm's way, right?
I don't care about anyone's grandma. I just care about her money. If she spends thousands of dollars to live in my building and then falls on a poorly lit staircase, well, that just makes room for the next paying customer.
Wow, this guy's really evil.
Yeah, I think we should report him.
I still have Rusty's number. I'll text him. That ought to do it. I mean, I want to get paid, but I don't want this jerk putting anyone's Mimo in danger.
I'm right there with you, Bad Chan.
And the trap worked.
Trap? What trap?
Yeah, what trap?
We've been watching you for a while, Mr. Dixon, and we knew you would hire underqualified workers for this job so you could cut corners and pay them less. I expected to come back to your job site in a few weeks to shut you down, but thanks to the help of Jay and Bad Chad, I've got the proof of your plan right here.
What? I'm being brought down by these two buffoons?
Seems hard to believe, but yes, you are.
Oh man, does this mean we're out of a job again?
Well, yes, but the good news is there's quite a large reward for helping OSHA bring down one of its biggest violators. I have a big fat check for the both of you that I think will make you pretty happy.
Awesome.
Take that, Dick Dixon. Have fun in OSHA jail.
I'll get you for this. Do you hear me? I will get you for this.
Now, final word from our sponsor.
Richard Dick Dixon here with some exciting news for the older folks out there. If you are a senior citizen who is finding it more and more difficult to live alone, why not come spend your golden years at one of my top-class Richard Dick Dixon retirement communities? Just take a listen to what our satisfied residents have to say.
When my eyesight started to go, I knew it was time for assisted living. Now that I live in a Richard Dick Dixon retirement community, there's a full-time nursing staff to help me up and down the steep and winding staircases that have no handrails. And if I slip and fall on the icy sidewalk that no one ever shovels or salts, there are plenty of people around to hear me scream. And with my weak eyesight, I can't even see all the leaks in the ceiling or the cockroach infestation.
I used to hate all the fire drills that would happen in my old assisted living apartment, but at the Richard Dick Dixon retirement community, we don't even have fire escapes or emergency exits. No more interrupted afternoon naps for me. Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Dixon.
You heard it here first, folks. Book yourself or your loved ones in a Richard Dick Dixon retirement community today.
When the years grow long and your lights start to flicker, we'll make the end come a little bit quicker at Richard Dick Dixon Retirement Homes.
Midnight Radio, WBR.